Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and today we're back with another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar, the series where we take a Wonderkid in Football Manager and simulate them at full growth to see how they could potentially turn out in your save and whether they're worth buying or not. Today's player is a striker, he's a real bargain and he's very easily accessible, he's not in a crazy league or anything like that. And don't forget guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Rate this player out of 10, take into account the price you pay, how good he is and how he performs on the pitch. And if you do enjoy this kind of content, it would mean a lot to us and everybody here at FMSCOUT if you can hit the like button. Not only will it help share these videos to more people, it lets us know that you are enjoying the content and lets me know to make more of these videos. And finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to the FMSCOUT channel and feel free to come check out my channel, linked in the description. So with that being said, I personally think he represents very good value for money, and I've already done the simulation and I can tell you he goes on to be a real star, and don't judge him based on what you see him at right at the start. So here we are on Football Manager, of course, and we're going into Spain. So this is a league that most of you should have loaded. From there, you want to head to the second division in Spain and to Zaragoza, and then go on to their B team. In their B team, you will find a very good striker who we've already moved over to our team here, Barcelona, where we're going to use this place as a way to see how he would play in a very good team and not in a B team of a second division side. So it's Luis Carbonell. Now, I already know what you guys are thinking. His star rating isn't great. His attributes aren't great for a 17-year-old either. He doesn't have any one standout thing that really redeems him. So why is he in this video? Well, firstly, I can tell you that you can get him for 1.4 million. It's a release clause, and I imagine you can pick him up not just with the best teams, but also with some more lowly clubs as well. Now, yes, his potential ability doesn't look great right now, but I can tell you that's because he's in the team being compared to Lionel Messi, and this fluctuates so much that by the end of the video, he's actually going to be classed as one of the best players at Barcelona, so do hold out for that. But I wouldn't skip straight ahead to the end because there's a few things we need to go through in terms of how he developed him to make sure he was actually a useful player. So I do try and keep these videos short and sweet, so let's quickly take a look at a general overview of this guy. He's 17 years old, as I said, he has a 1.4 million release clause at Zaragoza. You might be able to negotiate that lower, but they wanted me to hit his release clause in this save. In this save, he's been put on the high end of his potential range, and his potential range will be visible in the bottom left corner of your screen for a few seconds, so look away now if you don't want to see it. But as you can see, if he was on the lower end of that, it's not going to be the best player in the world, but it will still represent value for money in the 1.4 million that you put into him. However, if you can get him on the higher end of it, that 1.4 million can be a real bargain, and I think his price is one of the best parts of this player. Now, attribute wise, yes, he's not very great physically. He's got some decent acceleration, agility and pace, but not really good enough to be significant in the match engine. Mentally is probably where he most stands out, I'd say, and even there he doesn't have too much. He has a bit of flair. Determination is quite low and he will need mentoring. I don't know if that fluctuates in other saves, but right here he's not great. And technically he's very solid. There's other 17-year-old strikers who are going to be a million times better than this guy at the start. I'm being perfectly honest with you, but I do promise you he will turn out into a much better player, and I'm very interested to hear your ratings. But how did we get there? What did we do to turn him into a good player? Well, development, I've got him training his attacking movement because I think that's quite crucial in terms of actually scoring goals in the match engine. Later on down the line, I will switch that to physicals because I want him to be quicker. I don't think technicals have that much of an impact with a striker anymore. I've seen strikers with 9 finishing get 20, 30 goals a season. There's a bit more to it in this current match engine in terms of mentals, and physicals seem to be more important than technicals, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to focus on them and hope that his technicals will develop with time as he scores goals for this Barcelona side. Then, in an effort to improve his determination, his personality, which isn't the worst in the world, but I still like it to be a little bit better than balanced, we've got him working with Frankie de Jong, Lionel Messi and Antoine Griezmann, so hopefully that will help there. And in terms of the tactic we're using, he's going to be in a 2-striker formation with Messi next to him. Hopefully that will help him out in his starting years. It can't really get much better than that, but it's not a tactic that's completely game-breaking. It's just 2 strikers up front, and I'm hoping we get some decent results out of him. We simulate 5 seasons. I think he's about 21, 22. By the end of it, so we'll simulate a few seasons ahead, see how he's getting on, see how he's developed, and then we'll take it from there and take a proper look at him at the end of his 5 years. So that being said, let's simulate a few years ahead and get straight into it. So here we are guys, 2022, Barcelona just winning the league ahead of Real Madrid on quite a lot of goal difference, to be honest. Maybe it wasn't just winning the league, but points wise, we didn't win by the most. Carbonell is nowhere to really be seen on here. The Spanish international, however, has had a good couple of seasons for Barcelona. He's looking like a much more appealing prospect now. I mean, £8.5 million at 19. There's still many 19-year-olds who are going to look way better than him at this point. I understand that. But I think the fact that his star rating's gone up, and by the way, this Barcelona team is still at a very high level, so it's not like the players he's being compared to have gone down. He's just developed quite nicely, and I think the game has really reflected his development and his potential as it's just shot up there. And as I do always mention, I do put their potential on the higher end of their range in these simulations, so you can see what you'd get in a best case scenario with this kind of player. And there's a good chance that when I do change the rating, that the game doesn't completely recognise that straight away, and therefore the staff put that potential star rating as a little bit lower. But this is what he looks like now. Physically, still his area where he needs to improve the most, in my opinion. I agree still that this guy doesn't look all that great just yet, but he will do, I promise you that. Physicals, like I say, pretty average, 13, 14s. He needs a bit more pace to be a bit more effective in this system. His personality didn't change, he didn't develop any traits, he's still a small striker, only a 2-star rated striker currently at 19. Definitely not good enough for a team like Barcelona, and I don't think if you were Barcelona or Real Madrid or PSG, you'd be picking up this kind of player. This is definitely someone that maybe you buy for your youth team, or if you're a really low down club, maybe he can perform up front for you straight away, but the majority of people who buy him will likely be buying him with an idea to sell him on in the future. But mentally, quite solid. His off the ball has gone up a lot. We were training that kind of thing just to get his movement up, and his technicals have improved quite a bit with better dribbling, first touch, and a really good improvement in technique too. So far we've got a pretty average 19-year-old, I'd say here, but he's been doing quite well in terms of scoring goals. I don't know whether this is a hidden attribute thing or whether he's just suited really well to this Barcelona tactic. He's in a great team, of course, playing with some really good players, so they are going to be helping him out. Average ratings, not amazing, but he has been scoring goals, 17 goals in 38 in his first season, and then 23. This is what he might look like if you got him at the lowest end of his potential. This might be his full growth, and I still think for £1.4 million, if Barcelona sold him here, they're going to get 20 million for him, 15 million, whatever it may be. They're going to make a profit, and yeah, worst case scenario, this is the kind of player you'll get at full development, but he's still got plenty of room left to grow here in his next few formative years, and we'll see how he gets on. And I tell you, he does do really well, so do stick with me as we look at him in 2025. Okay, everybody, here we are, 2025, and as you can see already, Barcelona have done very well. The director of football has sorted all the signings, and they seem to have done a very good job in the league this year. Very dominant, and Louis Carbonell has been a big part of that, and we'll go into how he did so well, how he scored so many goals, and what we did to get him to that level, as well as his attribute growth in a few seconds. But I'd just like to let you guys know, my channel can be found linked in the description. We have a little save going on over there at the minute. I know it sounds like I'm plugging away at it, but a lot of you guys in my comments do say you came over from FMSCOUT and you're surprised how much you're enjoying it. So if you do want to be one of them people and come check out the channel, feel free. We're aiming for 2,400 subscribers, so if you want to come over there and hit the subscribe button, that would mean a lot to myself. So here we are in 2025, and how did he do so well? Well, firstly, we can see he's had a huge increase in his attribute growth. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, I'm using some kind of overpowered tactic. This just proves it. He's now playing for the Spanish national team, which of course I have no influence over. In 10 games, he scored 6 goals, and for the under-21s in 13 games, he scored 7 goals. So he's still a goal scorer, even outside of his tactic. Maybe not as prolific, but still a very high level of goal scoring for a team such as Spain. They're not going to be playing the most easiest teams in the world in their international matches. So it goes to show that no matter what tactic you're using, if you have him at this high level and you train him right, you're going to have a very good player. The second thing we'll instantly notice is the fact that he's on 225 grand a week, so Barcelona clearly rate him, and he's valued at £70 million. Bear in mind, guys, we signed him for 1.4. You already made a huge profit there if you were to sell him, and they'd likely get way more than 70 for him at the age of 22. So really good investment there. Probably one of the highest value players in the world currently in this save. He's now a 4-star striker at his full potential, 5'7", likes to lob the keeper and tries killer balls often. The trainers must have put this on him due to his high vision. That was slowly ticking up like 1 rating each year, and it's got to the point where he's actually a very good passer of the ball if you incorporate his passing, technique and vision. So yeah, a very good player in that aspect, but we'll start off with his physicals, and he has got much quicker. We tried to work on that. We focused on quickness for 2 years in terms of his individual training. Obviously, his other attributes are going to develop, but we did focus on getting the physicals up, and it has helped us in terms of him being a more prolific striker in the match engine. He is now an elite striker, good agility too. If we go to his mentals, it's where he probably stood out at the start, and it's really developed from there. Still got the same flair, determination has actually gone down, but his decision making, off the ball, vision, composure and anticipation have done really well. We did focus on final third at 1.2, and I think that's really had some benefits there. Looking at how he performed in-game, you'll notice one thing straight away. He's had 2 great seasons recently, but in that 3rd season he didn't do too well. I thought it might have been an injury thing, but I had a look at the end of the simulation, I think I just didn't tick the tick box that meant they had to play him. And now, as you saw when he was at the end of his second season, he wasn't that great of a player for Barcelona standards. Definitely would be classed as a substitute if I wasn't just instantly starting him. And that's what happened here. He didn't have a great season at all. He was obviously very rarely used, and that was an error on my part. But then we made sure that he was playing. We did reap the rewards from that. No tactic changes or anything like that. And we did very well. 29 goals in that fourth season, and then the fifth season, 37 goals in 38 games, and overall 55 goals in 54 games. So he's done awesome there. Was really important in the cup and on continental and international levels. Like I say, internationals, he's now at the point where I'm not controlling his tactics, and he's scoring 5 goals in 5 games. So he's definitely developed into a goal scorer no matter the tactic. Very good average match ratings too, getting plenty of assists as he would do in a 2-striker formation. I don't think he's now playing up front with Lionel Messi, so I don't know who his partner is anymore, but we can see he has developed really nicely. If we go and have a look at his progress and we go from all time, of course there is going to be plenty of attribute increases. It's a 5-year period, but yeah, everywhere he has increased. If we have a look at over the last couple of years, so since he's been, what was he, about 2019 since we last saw him, he's not increased in a single area loads. He's just improved all across the board. His composure went up a lot. I find that when you do final third individual training, that is something that goes up a lot quicker than maybe some other areas do. For example, if we focused on finishing, I just think that these mental attributes seem to be quite easy to train up, so that's helped us in the game engine. And overall, he's just been awesome. Now I think finally the last thing we should look at are his milestones. Did he achieve any awards? Barcelona were doing very well. I don't think they won a Champions League, but he's won the Spanish Cup, he's won the Spanish Super Cup, and he's won plenty of Spanish First Division titles. So yeah, pretty good overall. And if we go to awards individually, I believe he did win quite a lot in terms of Golden Boots and European Golden Boys. There you go, I think he won that. In 2022 and 2023, he won it there. I believe he is no longer eligible, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you can just see plenty of players of the year. World Under-21 Footballer of the Year. I imagine if he keeps it up, he's won the Golden Shoe as well. He's likely to win a Ballon d'Or if we were to continue this. But yeah, what a star this guy has been, considering £1.4 million, and he didn't look that great early on. He's definitely one that you're going to have to put some effort into, and for that reason, because of his starting attributes, I'm going to rate him as a 6.5. I think the value is his biggest strength. Even if you get him on the worst end of his potential rating, you're going to reap the rewards still financially. I think it would be quite rare to get him at this kind of level because we've had to focus so much on his training. It has taken 5 years to get here, but there is undoubtedly a very good player under them attributes. He's got a really nice base set, so you can build off everything, but he's not a star in one particular area. You get some people who might not be able to finish, but are super quick, maybe the other way around. He was a bit in the middle. I'm sure the 2-striker formation helped him out. Like I say, he definitely wouldn't have been playing for Barcelona, and we could see that based on the fact that in that third season, when I forgot to turn it on, he didn't get picked at all by the coach. So he obviously wasn't deemed good enough until we really got him playing, and then he's been doing awesome. Maybe that year off really helped his development, but let me know what you think. I think the value is obviously his best part of him, but he does lack in some other areas. I think he's still worth a buy though, if you have some spare cash left over, or maybe if you're a lower level team or you want to buy him for your youth team. Either way, Louis Carbonell is the player we looked at today. Let me know what you thought about him. Are you going to sign him in your saves and rate him out of 10? Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Goodbye.